Welcome back to the Heinz Brothers Mechanical YouTube channel. My name is Trevor and this is Adrien. He is one of the brothers of Heinz Brothers Mechanical, and he's also the main service guy and salesperson that you will talk to if you hire them, if you get them involved in any of your projects, whether that be air conditioning, furnace service, furnace repair, installation, ERVs, HRVs, plumbing, you name it. He's the guy you're going to talk to. The topic of our discussion today is steam injection humidification system benefits and advantages. And we were talking just before we started rolling on this video. I was like, I think I want steam humidification in the house because, man, oh man, just better breathing, better comfort levels. You know, not so much static electricity, but we're going to get into the benefits today. But soon after, I'm just going to give you a quote here. Helen Keller said, "Life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all." And I believe that is very much true. If your life is boring, if you're bored with life, man, oh man, there's a whole lot more living you got to be doing. Next thing here we've got is a stat for you. The most significant annual demand for air conditioners from 2012 to 2018 was always China. 40 million units a year. 40 million AC units. Holy man, that's a lot of AC.
It is a lot. Well, the sheer number of people in China, I can see it happening. Yeah. But I'll tell you, here in Alberta, or actually the northern states and most of Canada, people are really getting on the AC, the idea of getting AC in their home. It's really becoming important. It's not just the furnace these days, it's in the summertime we need to be comfortable as well.
Yeah, I think most people are coming along to the realization that, hey, you know what, I can, get an air conditioner in my home, or I can get a mini split system in and make it a little bit more comfortable for me to live and sleep at night and so forth. So I think that's just the trend. We like feeling comfortable. If we're not, then it's no good. So let's jump into some things here. First question we've got is, how do steam humidifiers work?
So we install steam injection humidifiers that actually use submerged electrodes. So what they are is there's a steam canister built into this equipment, and electricity charges these electrodes, produces steam, which transfers it through like a steam insulated tube to your ductwork, and is mounted directly to your ductwork. There's a dispersion tube inside the ductwork that actually releases the steam. Oh, wow. So it can actually call upon your furnace blower motor to turn on when you need more humidification in your home. So it's not just going to turn on when your furnace does. It can actually control your furnace. Oh, wow. Or control your blower so that you're humidifying when you need it, not just when the furnace is running.
That is pretty awesome. So that's much more efficient than the other style where it's just air blowing past some water on a mesh screen.
Basically, yeah, the way, in an effort to keep up the humidity in your home on the conventional style flow through or bypass system nowadays, water trickles through like a waterfall down a panel, and air bypasses from the return through to your, from your supply duct into your return, and moving air past that waterfall, trying to simulate or give you a little bit of humidification in your home. So all the while, water is just going constantly down the drain.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah, that's why I think the steam humidification would be the way to go. But we're going to get into the next question here. You can educate us on this. How does a steam humidifier safeguard humidity reliability?
Well, it may sound complicated, but actually a steam humidifier's function is very simplistic. So there's very few components. You've got the housing, you got the unit, the electricity, and you've got the steam canister. So with that steam canister, that has to be cleaned out, and every couple of months during the humidification season. So in the usually fall, winter, early spring is when we're going to be using this. And it'll actually tell you when it needs to be replaced. So usually annually you'll replace the canister, and every couple of months you clean it out to maintain its function, keep it running properly and efficiently. But other than that, it's virtually, you don't have to do anything to keep it working properly.
Kind of set it and forget it kind of thing.
That's right.
That's great. I love that. Question number 3 is, does steam provide a more hygienic atmosphere in the home?
Well, it does, because it actually allows you to keep the tolerance of steam in your home, like the level of steam, quite accurate. So we don't want to have too much humidity, and we don't want to have too little. Usually between 30 and 50 relative humidity is good in the home.
Okay.
When it's really cold outside, you want to keep it on the lower end of that spectrum, so you're not freezing the windows.
Right.
You're not getting that condensation all the time. But having that accurate level of humidity is actually helping if you've got wooden windowsills, if you've got hardwood floors, it's helping with your breathing. Definitely lowering the issues with allergies, dust mites, those types of things, and bacteria in the air. Yeah.
So a lot of benefits to having steam rather than just the regular humidistat. Now, or the humidifier. Because I've used, the standard type of humidifiers, pretty much all the time, and it doesn't seem like they provide a lot of humidification. Not a lot of moisture goes into the air from those things. I don't know what the efficiency is of them, but it seems that steam would probably be a better way to go about that. Next question on the list here is, how does a steam humidifier affect home comfort?
So again, because its ability to maintain, like if you've got the proper controller, like a smart thermostat tied into the steam humidifier, you can keep a 1% tolerance, like plus or minus 1% humidity, which optimizes your control of that, helping you sleep by not drying out your cavities, with your nasal cavities, your mouth. I've got a steam humidifier in my own home, and I'm able to sleep with my mouth closed. I can breathe through my nose, which doesn't dry me out as much, and actually helps with snoring.
Okay.
And it really does help.
Wow. So it helps with your health, helps with your sleeping, helps with your comfort level. So a lot of different benefits we can get from steam humidification. I think everyone should get one of these
Not
things.
to mention, if your skin is cracking, dry, or itchy, if your lips are always chapped in the wintertime, it's really going to benefit you to have this accurate level of humidity in your home.
Yeah, and like you said earlier, I mean, we're going to be using the thing 3/4 of the year. Almost every season we're going to be needing it, except for maybe a brief moment in the summertime. But other than that, we need this thing all the time. Next question is, how much maintenance does a whole house steam humidifier require?
So the maintenance is actually quite low. What I'll do typically is when I'm done using it in the springtime, I'll take the canister out, I'll rinse it, and shake out any scale, because it's actually taking out the scale, so you get a buildup of different
Lime,
calcium, all those types of buildup will be in there. You shake it out, you rinse it, be ready for next year. So next year comes around in the wintertime, you take out the old canister and you utilize it till the end of its life. Meanwhile, you should keep a second canister handy. That way you can just change it out when required. So the system, if you start hearing it gurgle or something like that, you may need to rinse it out, or you drain it every couple of months just to maintain its function. And then the system will actually tell you, change the canister when it's time to change it.
Wow, that's pretty remarkable. And are these parts like readily available? Can you find them easy enough? Like, are they some special order thing, or how does that work?
Absolutely, they're readily available. You can contact us, we can order them up for you. They're always available. But it's good to maintain, keep one on hand, an extra one on hand, just because when it's done, it's done. It's time for a new one.
When it's done, it's over. There's no bringing it back. The next question we've got for you is, how is water consumption affected?
So with the standard bypass or flow through type, it's a constant flow of water coming through. So you can imagine in the wintertime, when the humidity level isn't where you want it, because it's not working that efficiently, every time your furnace is running, which is almost all the time in the winter, you're actually pouring water down the drain. It's flowing down this panel and straight through the drain tube into the floor drain, or where we have it draining into. With the steam humidifier, it's only going to use water that it needs to produce the steam required. And so it's very efficient that I can change the humidity in my home, like within an hour I can go, 5, sometimes 10% change if I wanted to, right? So it works quite quickly, and you're reducing your usage of water. It does use a little bit of power, which is offset by the comfort levels that you're maintaining.
Yeah, I mean, when you have more humidity in the air, you don't have to, it doesn't feel like it's as cold or as warm as it normally would be, right? Like I notice in the wintertime when, say the average temperature should be around 20 degrees Celsius, we're having to put it up 22 degrees, 23 degrees just to have a certain level of warmth or comfort. But I think with more humidity, that 20-degree range would probably be very sufficient.
That's how
feel better. So you're using less gas and your furnace is having to work not as hard, and you've got a better humidity level in the house. Would you agree?
I would agree.
Awesome. Next question we've got is, how does a steam humidifier affect my breathing?
So like I talked about earlier, when the air is really dry, my nose is constantly congested. It's cracking. I have a hard time breathing through my nose. I have to breathe through my mouth, and then the air's so dry, I actually dry out most of my body just from breathing through my mouth, especially when I'm sleeping. I'm getting a sore throat, I'm snoring, all these things are happening. So I've also got asthma, and I've noticed since I put this steam humidifier in, maintaining that level of comfort.
Next thing is, what is the humidity level accuracy that can be achieved by a steam humidifier?
So like I said earlier, we can maintain with the proper controller plus or minus 1%. Like, it's actually pretty phenomenal. Keep in mind too, to get an accurate humidity reading requires pretty good equipment. So there are different humidistats you can get to check, but I've had a couple that I've bought, at a box store or whatever, and I have one in this room, and 3 feet over, I've got another one in the other room, and they're 10% off. So maintaining accuracy with those types of things, like, you're not really reading them properly. So it's good to invest in that thermostat to go with it, to be able to control it and to monitor it effectively.
Right. So getting the right equipment will help in maintaining it so that you can maintain that 1% difference plus or minus, which is amazing. I think that's great. All right, so the next question is, how can Heinz Brothers help people out with a new steam humidifier?
Well, if you simply give us a call, send us an email, send us a text, we can actually set up a free in-home consult. We'll come over, we'll check out your system, have a look at the electrical panel, make sure you've got room in the equipment, see what we need to do to install this equipment. So typically we want to install it on your supply duct. If there's no room, we can actually install it on the return duct. We just have to make sure we maintain like a 12-foot distance from your heat exchanger.
Okay.
So we can maximize the distribution of steam in the air so it mixes properly before it enters the furnace.
Okay.
So when we install these, we make sure that it's done to manufacturer specifications, just ensuring it runs properly for you.
That's right. And the best thing to do, folks, anything related to heating, cooling, ventilation, plumbing, you should always contact a professional, just because it avoids the incorrect installation or improper use of the equipment. So having a professional come in like Adrien and his team to install such items, I think it would just benefit you over time, because then you don't have malfunctions or things breaking when they shouldn't be breaking because you've improperly installed it or not getting the proper use out of it. So always consult the professionals, and especially call Adrien at Heinz Brothers Mechanical. Thanks so much for joining us on this video. If you liked it, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, as well as leave some comments below if there's any questions that you might have about humidification or any other HVAC issues. We'd be glad to help you out with that. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
See you next time.